Well, the next midterm elections are going to mean a loss of Democrats in both the House and the Senate. We don't know how many. Right now, you'd have to say the likelihood is Democrats will lose 5 to 8 seats in the Senate, which means the Republicans would not gain control. That's probably good news for the GOP because I don't think they want to be in charge heading into 2012. Also expect that the Republicans will pick up maybe 25 or 30 seats in the House. But what you have to remember with all of this is none of us know what the economy will be like come October. If things are getting a little better in the economy, the Democratic losses will be a little smaller. If things get worse, well, then they'll be a little bigger. I don't know what motivated Evan Bayh to make his decision. I'm sure part of it was going to be a very difficult re-election bid, and I'm sure part of it was a frustration with the process. Certainly he couldn't have enjoyed sitting in the caucus meetings with the rest of the Democrats in the Senate. But what he did in his resignation, I think is symbolic of the challenge faced by Democrats nationwide right now. The agenda that is being promoted cannot sit well with somebody seeking re-election in a state like Indiana. It's the best argument they can make at this point in time. Look, political parties are going to spin the results in the way that that best suits them. Republicans will do it when they're having bad times, and Democrats will do it when they're having bad times. No matter what, the reality is that President Obama is going to have a much more difficult Congress to work with in the second 2 years of his term, and how he responds to that challenge will be the biggest impact on his re-election prospects. Cap and trade is going to have virtually no impact other than in particular districts. If you're in a district that might be affected by it, yes, that'll be a huge issue. But for most Americans, it's not something that has caught fire yet as a public issue. In fact, most Americans aren't even familiar with the phrase cap and trade, what it means. That's an insider term in Washington. When you talk about the health care debate, absolutely. Part of the frustration is the American people were looking for the health care debate, health care reform to reduce the cost of care, and instead it ended up costing somewhere between $800 billion and $1 trillion. When Democrats said it was deficit neutral, they were missing the point on that. I think the other thing that is hurting Democrats on the health care issue right now is sort of the sense of they were going to push it through regardless of the fact that it was unpopular, and I don't think that's the kind of responsiveness that people are looking for. Massachusetts was a phenomenally fluky event. I mean, it was a low turnout special election in January, no sense of it, no experience with it beforehand. Scott Brown was campaigning very hard before Martha Coakley even knew there was a race going on. And he caught traction because of the health care issue, but it was more than that that helped him to victory. I think it changes the legislative process dramatically. But for people who are looking to Scott Brown as a model of what Republicans are going to do elsewhere, he's not really the right model. It was just the perfect storm that cost the Democrats that seat.